Toledo, we're famous for glass, Art Tatum, Tony Pacos, Jamie Farr, a world-class museum, the Toledo Mud Hens and Walleye, an outstanding zoo and public library system. But who are the people that make our city so great? Welcome to the Soul of the Glass City podcast. I'm your host, Monique. Hi, everyone. You know how much I love my proud Toledoans, and I got another one for you. Debora Gregory is my guest today, and I am so happy to have her in the studio. Debora, how are you feeling today?
I am well. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
It is an honor to have you. So I want to know, where did you grow up in Toledo? What schools did you attend, and how did you feel that they've shaped your adulthood?
I grew up on the south side of Toledo. I grew up on Tecumseh, which is an older street in the area. I went to Toledo Christian School for my elementary school. And so at that time, it was a private school, and the education was wonderful there. We learned so much so that when I went to a public school, it was very shocking for me.
What was shocking?
It was shocking because we had rules and regulations, okay? And it was like military, okay? This. But when I went to public school, I saw a boy running down the hallway, and I was like, oh my goodness, what's going on?
Did you guys have the infamous paddle?
Yes,
Okay.
And we had a paddle, yes. And so I went to Pickett Elementary School in the 6th grade. So we came out of private school and went to public school in the 6th grade. It was totally different, and it was very shocking for me. And then for elementary, after elementary, junior high, I went to Burndale Junior High School. And then I always wanted to get into Macomber-Whitney Vocational Technical High School. And so I took the test and was accepted. And so Macomber-Whitney was my high school, and I was so excited and so happy. And
No more culture shock?
no more culture shock.
Okay.
No, it was just excitement, because at that time, Jim Jackson was there.
Okay. Wow.
And basketball was everything at that time.
That is so fun.
The sad part was it closed, and I couldn't finish my last year there. So my last year of high school was at Libby High School, which wasn't bad.
Oh, you lost that too?
Yeah, then we lost that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, traumatic all the way around, but great.
Sorry, Cowboys. Sorry. After that, where did you decide to go to college?
Owens Community College.
Oh, wow. You stayed in the area.
I stayed in the area. Toledo has always been my home, so I stayed in the area. Enjoyed time there. I didn't finish then. I had to go back some years later and finish.
And what did you end up getting?
Accounting and business management.
Nice.
So, yeah.
And then you recently started a business that you lovingly named after your daughter, who has transitioned. My condolences.
Thank you.
Would you mind sharing with us her story and how she has inspired you to start your company?
Her middle name was Daynell, so I always wanted something to honor her. So I was offered some free business classes through Bank of America and Cornell University. And we had to come up with products. So I came up with some skincare products and went through those classes and ended up with a business at the end of it. So named it after her, and just all natural skincare products. It's a labor of love, absolutely, because when you start a business, it's really, really hard for financing, for working yourself, because I do everything myself. It's a home business, so I do everything out of my home. So staying organized, making sure everything is clean, making sure that you're making a product that people are going to love and that represents my daughter's name in the right light. So it's challenging, but it's also rewarding, and it's fun.
How old was your daughter when she passed?
She was 2 weeks from her 13th birthday. So February, she passed, and then March the 11th would have been her birthday. I try and do something every year to honor her. Ice cream was her favorite. So
Did she have a favorite flavor?
Strawberry. So
That's
Cold
my favorite.
Stone, yeah, Cold Stone was our spot. Mm-hmm. So we've done birthdays at Cold Stone where we've all gotten together and had ice cream. And it's just always something just to remember her, to think about her, what she would be doing now or what she would have done in her lifetime. So it's bittersweet, I think. It's sweet because I know that she had accepted Christ as her personal savior, so I know she's in heaven and she's, okay. So it's bitter because I miss her, I guess, because, she was my only child. So my baby. So I call her my baby, but she wasn't a baby. She was 12, but I call her my baby. So bittersweet, I think.
Well, it is amazing that you did something to honor her memory. We could all share that with you now. You've published a book titled Where My Testimony Begins. Can you tell us about it and how authoring this book helped you in your healing process?
I was writing in a journal because I was told that would help me in the grieving process. And when it was all said and done, God just spoke to me and said, you can help somebody else. When you go through, you're supposed to reach back and get somebody else or tell somebody else. And so I took the journal that I was writing in and turned it into a book. And I was able to self-publish and sell books to help people. As a Christian, when something like that happens, you can take it one of two ways. You can accept what God says, yes, okay, or you can try and fight against it, okay. And depression is real, and I went through a phase of guilt and not thinking that I should move on and be happy or that I should, live life to the fullest. I went through that phase of guilt. And somebody said to me, if it were reversed and your daughter was still here and you had passed away, would you want her to do what you're doing, which is basically wasting away here? And I had to think about that thing. And I said, no, I would want her to live life to the fullest, to do her, be everything. And so I had to take that advice and get up and live. And so now I really believe that God brought me out of that and that it was a testimony that I could tell somebody else to hopefully help them who might be going through a hard time. Losing a child is something different. It's something different, and it takes a lot of God and a lot of grace to bring you through that. And so I felt like if I could help even just one person to know that there is light at the end of the tunnel, to know that God is still there. You may not have liked his decision, but he's still God and he's still sovereign, and it's all on him. So you accept it and you try and move forward. You try and move forward the best way that you can.
While you're sitting here today is a very high testament to that, and we're very grateful to have you here.
Yes, thank you.
So you've received a proclamation from the former Mayor Mike Bell for your work and ministry in the community. Did you ever think that the city would notice the work that you were doing?
No, I did not. That was a complete surprise. He showed up at my book signing at the time and presented me with it. And I was like, what is going on?
There was no indication that was going to happen.
No, somebody did it on my behalf.
Oh,
So
wow.
It was a surprise to me. I did not know anything about it. And so I was very grateful, though. I was very grateful and happy.
Where's that sitting right now, that proclamation?
On my mantle at home over the fireplace.
Very cool. Very cool. What advice would you give someone who is healing from loss? I know you touched on it a little bit before, but people that are struggling to find their purpose again in life, what would you say? I know you mentioned doing a journal for yourself, finding God and different things like that.
I really felt like a journal helped me. I felt like when you write things down and even reading it back to yourself to see, you really see where your frame of mind is. And it helped me to realize that some things that I was thinking at the time were really not clear. And I had to go back and rethink that thing, because when you know God, you know that you're his child. He doesn't want you to suffer. He doesn't want you to be sad. He doesn't want you to be depressed. He really wants you to live an abundant life. And I feel like when you have to get it out. I feel like you have to get it out. When you're depressed, when you're sad, when you are going through grief, I feel like you have to get it out. And when I got mine out, I felt a sigh of relief. I just felt like I can breathe because I felt like I was able to get it all out on paper and it was just pouring out of me. And I felt like once it was out, I was ready to live. And it was eye-opening because I could go back and read it sometime and be like, dang, I was really sad. I was really depressed. And it's also to help you to move forward because every day it just seemed like it got a little bit easier. I don't think the pain is ever gone, but every day it seemed like it got a little bit easier the more the effort that I put into it. I just felt like it got easier for me.
That is so deep, and I am so grateful, again, that you are sharing this with us because there's somebody out there that I'm sure needs to hear these words, and we just appreciate you. So thank you for coming today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. I'm your host and producer, Monique. My executive producer is Chris Piper. Join me next time for another exciting episode of Soul of the Glass City podcast. For more information, if you have questions or comments, go to wgte.org/soul.
WGTE. Voices around us.
WGTE is supported in part by the American Rescue Plan Act funds allocated by the City of Toledo and the Lucas County Commissioners and administered by the Arts Commission.